Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Namibia. Now, the National Library of Namibia has officially launched the Temba Kids program that aims to contribute in building the Namibian children's literature. In fact, literary capacity. The initiative was designed to support and complement efforts in promoting early literacy across the country with locally created and contextualized early literacy materials. Joining us with more information on this telephonically is the Director for Programs and Quality Assurance at the Ministry of Education and clinical psychologist by profession, Madam Ayesha Wentworth. Good morning, Madam Wentworth, and welcome to Good Morning Namibia.
Good morning, Denver. Thank you very much for having me.
First things first, please give us a brief background on the Temba Kids program and what it entails and who is the target group, the target audience.
Well, Denver, as you mentioned, the Temba Kids program is really around the promotion of early childhood literacy. And the founder, Ms. Hilma Weber, she is a children's author and an early literacy advocate who really looks at contributing to the advancement of literacy, creating a love of reading in children and creative learning across the nation. And the program's core focus is really on early childhood literacy. I think when you speak with Ms. Weber, one can hear her story and how it started around just how the program started around just reading to children, engaging with young people, and then really bringing to them this love of reading. Yeah.
Thank you for that overview. Now, there's no dispute about the fact that literacy is everyone's prerogative. Speak to us about how you're going about as a ministry to sensitize the public in order to ensure the long-term and sustainable success of the program.
Well, I think that the launch itself served as an encouragement to parents and as an endorsement of the locally created educational content that celebrates the Namibian identity, because Temba is a Namibian children's character. And sensitization and long-term success requires from us as a ministry robust public engagement efforts, and we are looking at providing parents of learners who require additional help with monthly progress reports and distributing practical reading support tips and take-home reading materials so that, we really help the children at home as well.
Madam Wentworth, let's take a closer look at what the literacy picture looks like in this country. Speak to us about why it is so crucial for a Namibian child to have access to books which enable them to imagine, also to dream, but certainly also to broaden their mind and their perspective.
Yeah. Denver, reading is considered the foundation for all future learning. And failing to master this skill early in grades 1 to 3 leads to cumulative learning gaps. And I think that on many platforms we've mentioned that the end-of-phase reading assessment that we did in 2024 showed us that 30% of our learners did not manage to meet the required literacy skills to proceed to, only 30% of our learners met the requirements of the skills for literacy. So foundational learning encompassing both literacy and numeracy is essential for enabling every child to reach their full potential. And access to books, particularly those like leveled readers, is crucial as they aim to foster reading comprehension and a deeper engagement with an appreciation of text.
Madam Wentworth, against the backdrop of the foundational literacy and numeracy that you just outlined, speak to us about how attaining these go hand in hand with attaining sustainable development goals as well. There is a bigger picture, of course, that we're looking at the same time.
Of course, yes. So foundational literacy and numeracy is defined by the ministry as those foundational skills that children must acquire in the early grades. So for us, essential components that we assess in that assessment that I was talking to you about is around counting, comparing numbers, place value, and calculation. And key literacy components are listening comprehension, grammar, punctuation, spelling, and reading comprehension. And as a ministry, we've introduced the Jolly Phonics and Jolly Grammar programs, which focus on the systematic synthetic phonics, revising and extending children's phonics knowledge, teaching grammar, punctuation, and spelling across the pre-primary through to grade 3 phase. And this focus on foundational literacy and numeracy is integral to Namibia achieving the SDG 4 targets. And the Jolly Phonics drive and our drive on ending learning poverty, it aligns also with the continent-wide strategy of ending learning poverty, and which is also linked to the SDGs.
Madam Wentworth, tying in with that, speak to us about how the launch of Temba aligns with Namibia's literacy vision when it comes to introducing new literacy materials that are designed specifically and expressly for the Namibian child.
Well, the launch of the Temba Kids program, and even the Temba character herself, I mean, it aligns very closely with our national goals on foundational learning and nurturing a strong reading culture from an early age. In the ministry's roadmap, a key initiative was the development of decodable and leveled readers. So as a ministry, we've also been working on developing these decodable readers and also translating them into 11 languages. And so the Temba launch, and by introducing new published books and literacy materials, directly supports this national plan. The readers will help learners to practice decoding skills on their phonetic knowledge, while the leveled readers are aimed to promote reading comprehension and deeper appreciation and engagement with the text. So it's like a parallel that really complements what we are currently doing.
Madam Wentworth, I'm sure everyone wants to know this. Where can the public access the Temba Kids program?
Well, I mean, the actual materials are available at local bookshops and also on all international platforms like Amazon and these types of things. But I think it's also important to engage directly with the author and the creator of the program. I think she works a lot with civil society and does a lot to provide these resources also freely to the public. So yes, I really encourage everyone to look for Ms. Hilma Weber, to Google the Temba Kids program, because it also entails a little bit of, having a reading corner. She's also introducing that at some ECD centers and these things. So that will be very good to engage with her.
Madam Wentworth, 2025 has been described by many as a tremendous year. As we get ready to wrap up our conversation this morning, what are your key takeaways from this past year, and what is it that you're looking forward to in terms of 2026 as far as quality assurance and programs at the Ministry of Education are concerned?
Sure, Denver. That's a big question, but I think maybe I think that for 2025, the ministry has really made a very concerted effort to focus on foundational literacy and numeracy. Nationally, our objective is very ambitious, and that is to ensure that 100% of learners in grades 1 to 3 are reading fluently with comprehension by the end of each academic year. Namibia has been a leader leads other countries in Africa as the first country to implement Jolly Grammar 1 nationally, demonstrating our commitment to strengthening this foundational literacy for our learners in order to really ensure later educational outcomes. And I think that, maybe the interventions that we make now, we won't see them immediately, but we will see them eventually. And, education is a long-term journey. The things you do now, it's a long-term investment, and you won't see it immediately. So one has to maintain hope, maintain focus, and yeah. hope for the best. Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Madam Wentworth, before we let you go?
No, I think thank you very much, Denver, for having me. I think that let us engage with Temba, this Namibian character, and let us make use of locally created material and and celebrate the Namibian identity through this locally created material.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for those insights, and thank you for the great work that you and your colleagues continue to do.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, for having me. Have a great day.